The ultimate Beastmaster.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is Futro Hidden Movie Gems. I am Jordan.
I'm Tatiana.
And we are the host of this podcast. And we're going to talk about the ultimate Beastmaster.
Oh my goodness. We are not athletes, but holy cow, were we obsessed with the 3 seasons of this show.
Yeah, I kind of want to work out now. It was very motivating.
Oh, really? Yeah. I have no desire. It looked too painful. Yeah. But I loved watching it. It's kind of like how I enjoy watching cooking videos.
Yeah.
I don't actually want to cook it, but I really admire it.
Or eat the cooking.
I would love to eat it, sure.
I don't even know what to talk about. This show, it's a reality TV show. Highly recommend it. We will be spoiling it, so...
Yeah, we have to spoil it. I'm so sorry. There's things we have to talk about.
Yeah.
So,
well...
Spoilers!
And we recommend it if you like reality TV shows, especially if you like reality TV.
I wouldn't say, well, it's an athletic competition, Olympic style type of.
Yes, because you get a little bit
reality.
of story from them, like you get to hear their sad.
That's true, kind of like American Idol when you hear their story history. Yeah.
Oh, that too, yeah, and then you also get to. Yeah, so you get a little bit of insight from them. And we just watched, what was it? I think it was the Beast video on Squid Games, and that's what got us excited, because then I heard they were announcing a Squid Game reality TV series on Netflix. And so when I heard that, I think that's when I introduced you to the Ultimate Beastmaster, maybe.
Because you had heard about it and seen some of it before.
The Ultimate Beastmaster?
Yeah, like if
I watched the first 2 seasons, when it first came out, or I guess if they came out a year apart. I watched them in college.
Yeah.
Yeah, very fun show. I enjoyed it a lot. This is the first time I saw the 3rd season, and they made quite a few changes each season.
Especially for the 3rd season.
Yeah. But what was really fun, though, is they brought a lot of people back from the 1st season to the 3rd.
Yeah, some of the same countries and their hosts, the Korean hosts, are probably my favorite. And the Italians were annoying to me at first, but I ended up totally loving them.
Yeah, the Brazilian guys are really funny, too.
Oh, yes, they were really funny.
Yeah, and when he decided to do the trial to prove to Brazilians that he can make it past the first game was amazing.
Oh, the host with with the tight outfit, and you can see his big belly. Oh, that was so wonderful. I was like, okay, now I can relate to what this would feel like to do this. Like, because I'm watching him, I'm like, I would struggle just as much as him. Okay, I get it now.
And when you were in France, did you note that there was like kind of a rivalry?
You got it.
Against Italy
and France. I had never heard of it, but I might not have been close enough to the border to have known about it. But yeah, that was news to me, but not surprising. I feel like I heard more about a rivalry between France and some other country, and I can't remember what it is right now. But yeah, that was really funny, their rivalry.
Well, when we watched not The Cure, what was that movie we watched together? Hidden.
Oh, Cache.
Yeah, wasn't there like...
That was a history with Albania.
Albania, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess they just have a history with everybody.
Yeah. But yeah, that was hilarious how it was really the hosts of Italy that were just like, it just became this long running joke. And so then the French, like, quote unquote, fought back. It was all just fun and games, just fun teasing. But especially the 3rd season, when the Italian host came back, they said, maybe just once we can root for a French person. No, they stole the Mona Lisa from us.
The only thing I have to say about the 1st season, and I'm not attacking Brazilians, okay?
But it's nothing about Brazil.
Yeah, we just noticed something, and it was funny reading the comments, because people are like, why can't you just let them win? And it's like, no, like, why would you attack... like the fact that he won.
But some people were totally we agree with what Jordan is about to say.
So you watch it frame by frame. We watched a bunch of slow-mo videos. His feet hit the pad when he jumps on the tramp. You can see his foot hit the pad.
Yeah.
I mean, that's obviously up for debate, because some people are like, that never happened. And okay, if you believe that. But they did hit the feet. I mean, his feet did hit the thing. Nobody noticed it, which is fine. It happens in sports. Coaches don't notice things. Refs, sorry. Yeah. The refs didn't notice it, and so they didn't call him on it.
Right.
And I think nobody noticed it at the time, but then on replay, it's like, oh crap, like he did hit it.
Yeah.
But he didn't get called on it, so he won.
And you think that he even has a look on his face like, did they notice?
Yeah, because he waited waited for a second. He was waiting to hear the buzzer like thing, the red lights to come on, and it didn't. So he's like, okay, I'm just going to play it off like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, it was just interesting because, usually when you're watching like a sports game and it's on TV, they will say, let's pause, let's look at the footage and let's see if there was a foul or not.
If anybody noticed anything, but they didn't notice it.
Yeah. So, but even if they had, I wonder if it wouldn't really work for this show because they don't ever pause them. I've never seen it, at least. We never saw it.
No, but they do say, let's play that back.
Yeah, they'll replay it later, but never have we seen them replay it in the middle of the person's run so that they can determine if they failed or not.
I don't know. Maybe. Actually,
I think because of the TV and the momentum component, they don't want to give them a chance to rest and have an advantage over the other athletes. I don't know. There's a lot of theories that we can think about.
But anyway, so did he win? I mean, he did win, but
yeah, ultimately the only thing that gave Jordan peace was when we thought about, well, in real life games, if a ref doesn't see it and they don't call it, we still consider that team to have won.
Yeah.
Even if there were some bad calls, because I mean, every game people think refs make bad calls. So
yeah, it just bugged me a little bit because
it bugged him a major bit.
Okay, well, anyways, not the first time I saw it though. I don't remember being bothered that much. Maybe I didn't notice it either. Yeah, just watching it.
With me, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, I guess it was just because I was rooting for the other guy, and so when I saw that, I was like, he shouldn't have gone on to the next round.
Yeah.
But that's okay. So yeah, we had the Brazilian, and then
second season, it was the guy from China, and he was just a little cocky, so it wasn't. It was kind of hard for me to root for him.
Yeah, and then the last season. So the whole season changed. Like the first two seasons, like the points were cumulative, and so each round those points would transfer over. But this season, it was like every round you're back at 0.
Yeah. Well, in the first season, you did go back at 0 for round 4, but that I think was
no on the second season, because the first season those points transferred over, or was it the second?
No, I think the second season it transferred over.
Okay.
Yeah, the first season you
started at
reset
0.
At the 4th round for just the 2 finalists of that episode.
Yeah, but season 2, oh yeah, that's right.
Season 2 it carried over.
Yeah, because
but you could still win because of the point thresher at the end being worth a bunch of points. So even if you were behind a lot, there was still a chance.
Yeah, and there was like some people that would be so far ahead, it's like so they had to make it to the top to get that extra 200 points to win. Mm-hmm. So it was fun. They did everything a little bit differently every time.
Yeah, because then the third season was very different.
Yeah, and a lot of the obstacles were very different too. Because I felt like in the first and second season, they just tweaked a little bit of stuff.
Yeah, between episode to episode, they tweaked it a little bit. But they were tweaking it a bunch between episode to episode. Really spiced it up. It was really fun. I liked it. But also the different thing about the format of the third season was you have 9 competitors each episode instead of, 12 in the first 2? And in the first 2, there were 2 competitors from each country. In the third round, there were more countries represented. And so there was just one competitor from each country per round. And at the end of just a normal episode, you have 2 winners, and that means that they qualify for the semifinals. And then they had a total of 2 semifinal episodes and then 1 final episode. So you only do round 4 if you're in the very final episode, and there were 3 that got to try the round 4 instead of just 2. It was just very different. It was good. It worked. I liked the format of the third round ultimately.
Yeah, and each like host brought in another like fun personality as well as the players.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking like it was really cool and fun to see like Terry in the first season.
Crews.
Yeah, he is so funny.
Yeah.
And then I just don't know if they couldn't afford him or if he was doing other projects on the second season. I did, however, really like, and at first you were really bothered by him, but
he seemed really just immature, and he was, but then it grew on me.
Yeah, and I just love how much man buns bother him.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
In the second season.
He was so honest about his criticism, his hatred even of man buns.
Yeah, and like dabbing and everything the younger generations are doing. I think you said your dad knew him, like recognized him. He was a football player.
Yeah, that's right. They watched an episode with us.
Yeah, and your mom was like stressing out so much.
Yes.
Not really her thing.
Yeah.
Or like when we went to those dirt bikers like doing flips in the air
at the rodeo. Yeah.
And your mom was freaking out.
Yeah.
Very entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah. So very enjoyable show. Highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Hopefully you haven't listened to this if you haven't watched it, because we just spoiled who wins.
Well, we didn't even talk about what we just watched. We just watched the finale of the third season. Holy cow. Each of those 3 finalists were amazing. They finished it. So the first guy finishes it, and he's the Australian, and he's like the top runner, like the one I'm thinking is most likely to win.
Well, we thought we were hoping that the Mexican would.
Hector.
And my favorite thing is my wife turned to me and she said, "He is just too good. He can't make a mistake."
All I said was, like, the only reason he wouldn't go to the final is if he made a mistake, but I don't think he's going to make a mistake, knock on wood. And then it's not that he really made a mistake, it's that he strategized wrong. He was too ambitious.
Yeah.
He was too ambitious, went for the point thrusters. Well, a different kind of mistake than what I meant.
Because he went for a point thruster nobody has gotten, and he got it. But...
And that tired him out, and then he went for the next point thruster, and that's when he fell, was on that next point thruster.
Yeah.
Which most people skip that one as well. The point thrusters are just little extra things that give you extra points, but you do not have to do them to complete the course, just for explanation. But Hector, oh my gosh, he's like a professional climber. He's like one of the
I've noticed
best in Mexico.
The climbers did better in season 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Season 3, it felt like the obstacles were not less climbing. It wasn't until like the third stage that there's a lot of arm strength required. But it seemed like the climbers did so much better in the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, because I do think the courses were favorable for climbers. And hard for people that don't do.
Like right from the get go, it was the South Korea and remember they like.
Oh yeah, the ice climber.
Yeah, but it was at the very... Well, yeah, but I'm talking not in this season 3, because they have this, like, that big moving machine in the first episode that people kept falling on.
Yes.
It's so funny.
I couldn't believe it. Oh, yeah, there were so many things that, like, every time someone fell on that particular spot, it was hilarious. Like the trampoline. Actually, there were a couple times that people fell on the trampoline and it wasn't funny. It was just whatever. But there were some things that, like, no matter what, if they fell, it was so funny looking.
No, my favorite was the treadmill in season 1 when they would get on it. It'd be moving so fast, people would trip and fall over and, like, roll on it.
Yes.
And then fall into the water.
Yes.
Or they'd be looking up at the rope, and so they wouldn't be seeing where they weren't looking where they're walking.
Yeah.
And so when they would jump right as they were falling off into the water.
Yeah.
That was always really entertaining.
I'm reflecting and I'm realizing, like, yeah, there were times that we were laughing so hard. There were also times that we were like, ooh, like feeling pain vicariously for them. There were times that we were like, what? We were so surprised that someone did something we weren't expecting or whatever. And then there were times that we were sad. I was so sad about Hector leaving. There were there's probably at least one point that I got a little emotional. Like, it was so, exciting and inspirational. There were times when people were, like, almost falling off, and then they stay on, and their perseverance is like, holy cow.
Yeah,
so,
some people had, like, injuries, and they still pulled through it. It was amazing.
Yes, a big range of emotions and reactions, I will say that, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a very motivational, fun show.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for Squid Game's reality.
Okay, but getting back to the third season finale, so that Australian finishes, and it's like, I was thinking the only one that can probably beat him is the German. The German goes next, and he does, and I was like, even though I had said it was a possibility, I was so surprised, because that Australian is a beast. And he's, like, insane and so good. And I just did not think that the German was going to finish the whole thing. And he did it with faster time, so he beat him. And then the underdog, the English guy, ended up beating both of them. He won. And I was like, what? I did not expect this at all. It was...
Now you're sounding as dramatic as the people.
Oh yeah, I'm in. The commentators have rubbed off on me. That one time that Australian commentator had that look on her face, we wound it because Jordan was like, "It's so hilarious." Yeah, it was.
Yeah, there's a lot of little golden moments throughout this show, and it was great on a rewatch because I had forgotten who had won.
Oh, yeah.
And so rewatching it again was extremely entertaining, which is why I'm like wondering if we should have spoiled who won, because maybe we should edit out who the country was.
You can bleep it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just when I say the Australian guy, it'll sound like the bleep guy.
Just because like that's the most exciting part is you're like, crap, who's going to get through this?
But you should leave all of this in the episode as well. What we're saying right now.
That's pretty much all I have.
Just so everyone knows, when I say the bleep guy, I'm not actually cursing.
She is. She's swearing at them.
No. What?
Okay, hey.
Yeah?
So you've watched a lot of movies. Okay, do we recommend it? Yes, highly recommend it.
Yes. I get it if you're my mom or similar to her, where it's just too painful, the vicarious pain.
Yeah,
of
there's a few
watching
people
them.
that get some injuries.
Yeah, so I get that, then it won't be entertaining.
Yeah, and it's
too.
also,
it was so entertaining to us.
it's a
though.
lot
We were
like
addicted
American
to it.
Ninja Warrior.
Yeah,
you
everyone
watch
says that. I've never seen it, but yeah, that's how.
I haven't
As
either.
soon as we say that, then people are like, oh, I get it. I get what the show is about.
Yeah, or Wipeout, I guess, was another one that was pretty similar. I just really enjoyed this, though.
Yeah, I
don't know
loved how
why.
there were competitors from different countries. So it feels like the Olympics, and you have the commentators from different countries. And it's not like a ton of countries. At the max, it was 9 at a time. And then otherwise, it was like, I think 6 at a time.
Yeah, and it's very exciting, too, that they just, we saw so many different countries. And then the next season was all different countries.
Yeah.
And then the third season got a little bit of both.
And I loved that, all the competitors had different backgrounds. You had a really wide variety. We were talking about some of them are climbers, but some of them were parkourers. Those also tended to do pretty well. Some people were backgrounds in weightlifting and fitness stuff.
Some of those guys do not do too well, though, because they're too heavy.
Yeah, there was this one football player, professional football player, and he dropped out. He fell at the very beginning. He was just too heavy. There
were some girls that came really close.
Yes.
I know I keep teasing Tatiana about the girls.
Yeah.
But
because I'd always root for them, and then he would make his little comments.
Well, it would just be really funny when you were like, they're gonna you were talking them up, and then they fell right on the first obstacle. It's just
there were a lot of guys that fell on the first obstacle too.
It's
just
true.
to clarify.
But
anyways, as you were saying, you were gonna say something good about.
No, that one girl, she literally, she made it further than even a lot of the guys, but
well, and she made it further than that one guy that knocked her out.
She was just in a
semi.
She was against a really hard group, I think. So.
But it's just that she didn't get that point thruster. She's passed over it, and if she had gotten it, she would have beat that guy and gone on to the semifinal. And she's French, and she's just so sweet, and she's cool. There was this one time this French girl made it to the third round in, I think, in the second season, and it was so exciting. And then she gave up at this one point where, yes, she probably wouldn't have made the jump because the thing was sinking too much. She just didn't have a good enough time at that point. But she didn't even try, and most people at least try. And she just sat there and let the thing sink with her into the water, and she just waved at everyone. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's being so French. She's surrendering.
Yeah, and it was fun too to see even the people who we thought would be the up and coming runners, for sure would make it to the end, would slip up.
Yes.
And because it's easy to either be overconfident or the pressure, because some of them let so much pressure get to them. And then, we forgot to mention the is he Great Britain?
The British guy with the facial expressions?
Yeah, he always looked terrified. Yeah.
And they made this whole bit about it with the editing and with the commentators. They were all just having so much fun looking at how stressed he looked.
Speaking of editing, we didn't though in second and third season, or was it just the third season? No, it was the second.
Previews.
No, the second and third, because they started in first season. There was never revealed anything ahead of time, but by the second season they started showing little snippets of clips
in this episode.
Yeah, and it to get you excited for the episode. But the problem was they were showing who was going on to the next level, and so it was kind of spoiling it, and we didn't like that.
We can spoil, but no, they cannot. How dare they?
Exactly. Okay, we watched a lot of stuff lately.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about some of your thoughts on some of this stuff?
Oh, you'll have to remind me. What have we watched?
We watched Troll 2. Thoughts?
I've never seen Troll 2. Oh, I keep thinking about the cartoon. Oh my goodness. We still need to finish it. I haven't finished it.
We got 5 minutes left.
This movie is amazing. It's the worst movie ever made. Apparently The Room is, which I did see The Room. I finally watched The Room. Oh, that was...
Which one did you like better again?
I think Troll... No, yeah, I think Troll 2. It's a little funnier to me. These are movies that are so bad that they are good. Holy cow, Troll 2 is just out there. But The Room is what? What was he thinking the whole time? It's fascinating. And then just everything you've learned about this guy. What's his name? Johnny Caruso? No, what's his name?
Oh,
Johnny Wiseau. No,
yeah, Tommy
Wiseau. Everything you've told me about him.
Johnny, but his name in
That's
real
right.
life is Tommy.
Everything you've told me about him, and then I did a little bit of online searching myself, and just the fact that the best friend wrote the book that gave all the insight as to what he was doing behind the scenes, and they're still best friends. I am so fascinated. I really, really want to watch that movie made by the Branco guys, the brothers.
I just love you making an amazing impression of the mother in Troll 2. You just...
No, do not do that, child. It is not safe. Tomorrow we shall go on a journey. She was such a robot. And then the teenager, the girl teenager in Trolls 2, like the most terrible acting, and it was over the top, but it was so entertaining.
And then
right. You don't even
and you got so scared at the part where they're looking in the mirror, and all of a sudden that girl appeared in the mirror.
The witch lady. Yeah, that was the one time I got scared. But I think that the movie makers were trying to make it scary the whole time.
And you just every time she was on screen too, that girl, the over the top like theatrical girl, you were just like, I can't even.
I know. Yeah, it was so much, but because I've seen some bad acting, like in like a music video made by a random lady that some old coworkers could testify. I started to watch it and I could not last. After like 30 seconds, I was like, I cannot watch this. It was making me cringe way too bad. So it didn't get to that level with this actress. It was still very entertaining to watch. But yeah, it was, oh my gosh. She was so theatrical. Like this was straight out of an amateur community play. That's the kind of thing I felt like I was watching.
And we watched Shawshank Redemption.
Oh my goodness. So good. Yeah. And surprising. I was not expecting that whole ending. And then also, so that was recommended to me by Christian. And then what did Heather recommend to me?
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder. That was really funny. It's not like it wasn't like the most hilarious thing to me, but it had a lot of laughing. Had a lot of funny.
A lot.
Yeah.
What else more?
Have I done?
Prisoners.
Wait, remind me what that's about?
Jake Gyllenhaal, Hugh Jackman, his kids go missing.
Oh my goodness, that was such a fascinating story. It's not based on a real life story, though, right? But it seems like it could be, you know? It seems like, yeah. And that had some twists and turns, and I was kicking myself a little bit for not catching some of the hints. Yeah, like the connection of the guy that the priest killed that was the bad guy. Anyways,
I don't think that many people would have got that.
Really?
Those are little details.
No, but it was the same time frame. It was like, this was 5 years ago, and then the lady was like, yeah, my husband left 5 years ago, or went missing 5 years ago. So I feel like that hint was there and I missed it. But that was a really good movie.
Yeah, one you couldn't stop thinking about after.
Oh really? I believe you. Yeah,
it was a while that ago. One, and there was another one that you like, I can't stop thinking about this.
Oh, Super.
Oh, Super.
Yeah, I was thinking a lot about Super later. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I still can't believe that happened in Ultimate Beastmaster. I am so surprised by who won.
Yeah, it's a great show.
Mm-hmm. And like, it was so fun because the guy that won from the country that we will not name anymore, he must have been loved. He must have like really been a good guy, because everyone was very genuinely excited for him. Like everyone from all the different countries, including the 2 other finalists, they were all like lifting him up, just like so excited for him. It was very genuine. I loved seeing that.
And that's all, folks.
Bye-bye.